Hello, hello, it's me, Arden Lee, and I'm back again with Virgil. Hi. Um, Today I'd like to talk about the transformative power of minding your business. If you don't know me already, I am the creator of the Repatterning Project, and you can check out in the description box below for more information about that, including a free PDF guide to learn more about what it is that we do. We hack our beliefs and our thoughts, and we rewire our unconscious programming to set ourselves up for success and happiness rather than the same old results that we've always gotten before. And also a link to a free community that you can join on Facebook to come and meet some of your peers who are also into optimizing their beliefs and their processes. So check those out if you feel called. And so I want to talk today about how positive, what an incredible impact it has made on my life when I made the decision to mind my business. One of the things about boundary issues is that I read once in an article, and I tried to find it again and I couldn't find it. So unfortunately, I cannot at this point cite the source. If anyone knows of this article, just send it my way because it was really good. And I can't find it again. But I read in an article where the author compared boundaries to the fence around a garden. And if you have good boundaries, you understand which part of the land is your garden for you to plant on and for you to tend, and which is your neighbor's gardens. And you understand that going into your neighbor's garden is something that you don't do. Taking care of your own garden is something that you probably should do. And where the metaphor really started to hit home for me was, I understood boundary issues to be about, you shouldn't go into someone else's garden and trample on their flowers. And that is obviously true. But what the author continued to point out was that it's also about not going into someone else's garden to water their plants, because that would be strange if you did that. That's their garden to worry about, and if you see that some of their plants are looking a little shabby, you can certainly ask if they would like some help with their gardening, but you do that by knocking on their front door or saying hello to them across the fence, perhaps, when they're clearly available for conversation about it. And ultimately, if they say, no, I don't want your help with my garden, then you don't help them with it because, again, consent and boundaries. Similarly, one of the problems with boundary issues is that if you are one of those people who is often crossing the fence into your neighbor's garden to help water their plants, you're often not taking that time to take care of what's in your own garden and within the bounds of your own fence, which means that your garden might meanwhile be getting trampled. It might be getting trampled by other people. It might just be neglected under the sun with not enough water. But either way, you're spending so much time in other people's gardens that you're not minding your own, and it's probably withering and dying. This is not just about the overt boundary violations that are violent or selfish or narcissistic or manipulative in ways that are obviously toxic. This is also about people who try to help other people in ways that they have not signed up for, in ways that those people are not agreeing to. I once was advising someone on magic, and I was telling her about, how to cast a spell, essentially, how to do, a ritual to call in some of the things she wanted. And she said, can I put things for my loved ones on there? And I said, absolutely not, you cannot. Not without explicitly asking them first, and hopefully getting an exchange of energy of some kind. Traditionally in witchcraft, you take a silver coin, could be a dime or a quarter, whatever, and you spit on it to represent that this is from you, you give it to the person. So I don't care. I don't care if they're giving you a dime with their spit on it. You get some kind of energetic exchange that says, yes, I'm consenting to your doing this work for me. And if you don't do that, you can sit there and wish all day for great things for your family and friends. And it's kind of like going into their homes and rearranging their closet without their knowing about it. Consent is of utmost importance, even in energy work. And sure, we all have our own energetic fields and we all brush up against each other, and there are inevitably going to be interactions between people that will affect other people. We don't each live in a vacuum, we don't live in a bubble, but we want to minimize as much as possible our tendencies to cross over into other people's business. And we can do this overtly by helping them, trying to help them, trying to be trying to help them in ways that they haven't asked for or haven't agreed to, and we can also do this in subtle ways just by worrying about them. I used to worry about people all the time, and I thought that meant that I really cared about them. And I do care about people. I do worry about people sometimes. I feel concern or I feel care. I want to do what I can for them. I will feel dismay if things don't work out for them. And I offer my support when I see people and I feel like they're struggling. When I have people who are close to me or people I care about and I see them going through something, I'm always saying, hey, do you need any help with that? Can I help you? How can I show up and support you? What do you need right now? But the difference is I'm putting that offer out there without attachment. I'm saying, hey, I'm over here and I'm happy to help you out if you want it or need it. And here's what I'm available for, or you tell me, give me some ideas, and I'd love to show up for you. I did that for a friend just the other day, someone I haven't even spoken to in years, but she was there for me after my last breakup, and I saw on her social media that she'd just gone through a very sudden and traumatizing breakup. And so I just reached out to her. I was like, hey, you were there for me. Do you need my help? And she was like, I don't know what I need yet. It's kind of hard for me right now, but thank you. And can we touch base in a few days? I said, yeah, absolutely, of course. So in the meantime, I'm there for her, but I'm not worried about her. If I were worried about her, worried in a toxic way, I might be worried, like I'm concerned, I care about her, obviously I want the best for her. If you think of that as worry, then that's fine. But if you're worrying about someone in a toxic way, what that's gonna look like is, oh my God, she's pushing me away. She wants to wait 3 days. She shouldn't be waiting 3 days. She should be getting out of that house right now. Oh my God, what is she doing? I'm going to drive up there and I'm going to help her pack her bags right now. And I'm going to, no, let people go through their path. Let people go through their process. Similarly, I've had a number of people this past year, especially, just throughout all of 2018, I have had a number of people who I felt were coming to me with issues they felt that I should be concerned about. But when I inquired further, it was very difficult figuring out what they wanted me to do, especially issues involving other people. And this has happened on multiple occasions throughout the year. And you all right, Virg? Sorry. I gave Virgil some salmon earlier and he just sounded like he was choking. You okay? That was a big piece. Maybe use your teeth. Your ancestors used to hunt gazelles on the prairie. I know you know how to do it. If you need help, I'll come over and cut it up for you after the video, okay? Sorry. It's very spoiled. I had salmon for dinner tonight, and as I was cutting the skin off of the salmon, I'm not super good at that yet because I'm not a professional chef, so I missed a lot. There was a lot of excess salmon that came off on the skin, so I tried to shave it off and give it to him. Some of them are in big pieces with yeah. Anyway, he'll be fine. Thank you for your patience. So I've had multiple people come up to me and approach me about things that were going on that really had nothing to do with me. And I wanted to, obviously, if this person is someone who's close to me, if there's something they need me to do, I've always asked, what would you like me to do about this situation? Do you think that there is further action required? Is there something that that you'd like me to be doing about this? Do you need my support? Do you just want to vent? What is going on? And you would be shocked how many times when you ask people that question that they don't really have an answer, or that their answer is like, well, I think you should check on this person, or I think you should look into this, or I think, certainly if someone's, if it's a matter of like, I think your friend is suicidal and I think you should reach out to her or whatever, of course I would do that. But if it's like, well, I don't know what this person did something, and I think maybe you should, and I'm just like, if they need me, they know, they have my number in their phone. They know where to contact me. I trust them to know what they need and to express those needs and to show up for me in that way. And if I haven't heard anything about this situation from them, maybe they don't want me to know about it, or maybe they don't want to, maybe they're not as bothered by it as you think that they are. And I want to bring this up, and I want to address this because, I've done a lot. I've accomplished a lot in the last year, especially. I've gone through, in the last 2 years, I would say I've gone through a really deep trauma healing process. I have entirely rebranded my coaching. I have launched a new website. I have launched 2 new courses, and I wrote, recorded, and released an album with my band. I made a music video. I made a second music video that hasn't come out yet. It's coming out for the holidays. I did all of this in a really relatively short period of time, and the only reason that I was able to do that was that at the beginning of 2017, I declared to myself that I was no longer going to worry about people in ways that they clearly were not inviting me to do. I was not going to interfere, and I was not going to let anyone campaign against another person toward me in ways that seemed attached to in ways that seemed really overly attached to how I felt or how I reacted. Certainly I applaud people who share their stories of toxicity and abuse. It's really important that people are speaking up right now. As you guys probably know, I already feel that way. I've spoken up a great deal about systemic abuse myself. But regardless of how I feel about really anything, once I've told my truth, people are either going to come to those conclusions for themselves or they're not. And there's certainly many people who I've lost along the way, and I'm just no longer attached to how anyone receives anything that doesn't really have to do with me. Even if it seems like it has to do with me, what people think about me is none of my business. What matters the most to me is, am I following my heart? Am I staying true to my heart? Am I speaking my truth? Am I saying the things that I think need to be said, whether they're said publicly or said privately or semi-privately, maybe just within some social circles, whether they're there for the record or they're just, I do what I need to do to feel good. I ask for support when I need it. Actually, I'm still bad at asking for support. I'm not going to lie about that. But I like to think that I'm working toward asking for support when I need it. I have actually gotten a little better at that. And, and other than that, I don't expect people to, I don't spend my time worrying about how people are taking care of their own gardens. If their garden needs to completely dry out before they realize what they're doing with their lives, then maybe that was their path. And if I went over and I tried to water their plants every day to keep their plants from dying, they might never learn how to keep their garden themselves. I trust that if anyone is feeling called down a certain path, that there's a reason for that. And I might have my feelings on it, I might have my opinions, and I might even go to that person if I care about them, or if I feel particularly passionate one way or another about the situation. And if I really feel like there's something that I need to say, I will say to them, hey, would you like my take on this? Because I have a take on this, and I'd like to share it with you. And then I do so, and I share my feelings, and I say, for the record, this is what I think is going on. This is how I feel about it. This is what I think is happening. Now, I'm talking about situations that don't affect me, that maybe just trigger me or cause me to feel or believe things. If something is directly affecting me, then of course that is different. Of course I'm going to have a conversation about my boundaries and my standards and how I expect to be treated. But if it's a matter of something else that is going on, that is simply upsetting me because it feels wrong or it feels triggering to me, like let's say, for example, if I see a friend who is acting in a deeply codependent manner, since I'm someone who struggled with unconscious codependence. And I didn't know that the word for what I was codependence. Like, it was like I was like an addict who didn't think they had a problem, because I still showed up to work every day, or whatever that is. But if I saw someone struggling with a similar issue that I had, that was like triggering for me, because I was like, oh, I thought we were over this. Like, why is this happening? And this is upsetting me. I might tell that person, hey, do you want to know what I think is going on here, and what I think might be helpful for you to realize and understand? Because because I have some feelings about it. I've almost never heard someone say no, by the way. They almost always say yes, but at least at that point, I have couched this as being my feelings about the situation, and that ultimately their life is in their hands and it's their decision. Of course, if someone is triggering me a lot, or if we're just not on the same level anymore, of course we may drift apart. I've had friends who were, stuck in codependent situations where I've told them outright. I've said, I'm sorry. I love you. I support you. I hope that whatever happens, that it makes you happy. But I can't be around this energy. Just like, someone who's given up drinking, doesn't want to go out to bars for a couple months or whatever. So I support you. I love you, but I'm sorry. So this means of minding my own damn business has been, I have more peace, more tranquility and calmness in my life than I ever have had before. I stayed home all day today, and I worked on, making videos like these, writing posts, making dinner, cooked salmon for me and Virgil, played music. It's so lovely. It's so peaceful. It's so beautiful when I'm not so all up in everyone else's business, and I don't have, all these crazy attachments to how other people are behaving. I understand that I may lose people regardless, and I will have feelings about that. I will be sad if I no longer align with a person. I will be sad if someone I know is self-destructing in ways that that I can't prevent. And I may I may try. I may say, hey, please take my help. Please let me help you. Please, this is painful for me. I don't want to watch you go through this. There is a way out. Please let me. I will absolutely be there for my friends, but ultimately they have to want that help. They have to accept that help. They have to consent to that help. And I can't stay attached to whether they do or not, because ultimately everyone is in charge of their own path, and everyone is making their own choices. And when you realize that, yes, it can be lonely, and it can suck to realize how truly powerless you are over everyone else's decisions. But that's just the way that it is, because we're all in our own sovereignty. We are all our own individual beings. And just as there's nobody else out there who can or should be influencing you in any way other than supporting you and providing an example for you and showing up to you in friendship and real true mutual support, there is no one out there who should be able to influence you or manipulate you into doing things that you're not already choosing for yourself already. So I really encourage everyone to step into that vibration of minding your own business. It's really lovely, and it certainly makes you, in my opinion, in my experience, certainly makes one happier and healthier, and you sure do get a hell of a lot more done during your day. So thank you for joining in. Again, I am Arden Lee. and I'm the creator of the Repatterning Project. And if you're interested in learning how to mind your business too, do come and check us out. Again, link in the description box. Thank you for joining in. I appreciate you.